Welcome everyone to week 89 of Cougs on Cougs. I am Jess here with Mary, and it's that wonderful time of the year where you have both football and basketball games going on. So
it's
at
usually
least we
wonderful,
have that
at
going.
least.
Yeah, well, at least there's options, I guess.
Yeah, we're tired. We're trying to muster some energy. We're trying to muster some happiness. Can we just get points for being here? We're still here.
Right, we're still talking about football. Woohoo!
Anyway, okay, so our quote kind of reflects that a little bit. It's from J.K. Rowling, one of both of our favorite authors ever. She said, "Rock bottom became the solid foundation on which I rebuilt my life." Jess was asking before we started recording, have we hit rock bottom? It's the question we keep asking ourselves every week, and then we find a new low, I feel like.
Yeah, it's like every time you think you're there,
yeah,
you tumble a little bit further.
Yep. Here's hoping that we can find some sort of solid footing in this mess of a 2-8 football season.
I'm really sorry, guys. This is just unprecedented for us, which I know a lot of programs go through this, but I haven't even been through this in my lifetime with football.
Nope, me neither.
And it's a little rough.
We're trying our best. So we will say we did play well enough that we decided that we are going to do a coaching from the couch. It's depressing because we're 2-8, and it's depressing because we've lost Tanner to a season-ending injury. But I'm not really, that game, I didn't come away as depressed as I have with other games, because I feel like we had a presence, that we were in it from the beginning till the end, really. I mean, it was a competitive game.
I can't say I feel that way.
You don't?
But I appreciate I think it has more to do with the way it ended.
Yeah.
That you get a hit on Matt Bushman, he fumbles it, and now maybe Bushman's hurt too on top of everything else.
Lots of disappointing things there at the end, but I'd rather have a chance than not have a chance, which in many games this year we have not had a chance.
That is
so true. We're gonna choose to be a little bit placated by that competitive play. So let's start with what went wrong so we can end on what went right. Coach Tyler, what went wrong for you?
For me, it's still those red zone penalties that are just so crushing at this point.
Yeah.
It's
especially when a game is finally in your hands for once.
Right, and it's late in the season. These types of things should be cleaned up by now. They should not be happening, and it still is. I mean, I don't know about everybody else, but by the time we get to the red zone, I can't even be optimistic about it because I'm just waiting for someone to screw up, and then they usually do.
Yeah.
So that makes it really hard to watch when you have you finally put these nice drives together, you get there, and then
you can't do anything.
Start or something happens and you get moved back, and then it usually ends up maybe in a field goal, maybe in nothing.
If we're lucky. Yeah. Speaking of frustrating, mine is that 4th and 1 play. And usually we try and keep these general, but right when that play happened, I just knew it was going to be my what went wrong.
I think you had a collective groan from Cougar Nation.
Yeah, because it was a 4th and 1. It was in the fourth quarter. We're down, a possession. And Squally is having an amazing game. And for some reason, it was kind of a weird situation where we set up the play and then called that. Did we call the timeout or Fresno? Someone called the timeout.
I think we both called timeout.
And then someone was able to, their defense was able to reset. And I mean, I want to give Ty the benefit of the doubt and say that originally we were going to run it. And then we decided against it based on what their defense was doing. But either way, it's 1 yard, and we need a first down. We need a first down so bad.
You need to keep that alive.
And it's always hard because obviously if that pass gets completed, then he's a genius, and it's amazing. And we went, but
how many times has that happened this season?
Right, and hindsight's 20/20. So that play call, even if the pass does work, I think you still are kind of scratching your head a little because you just need the first down. So happier times. So let's move on to what went right, Coach Tyler.
All right, the one thing I pulled out that went right was Rhett Allman's 46-yard field goal.
Wow.
I don't know if anybody was expecting him to make that. His long before that was 38, and I think that one was
surprising to most people.
Yeah, for sure. And he just got in there and just nailed this 46-yarder, and everyone I think was kind of like, just go for it. Don't even bother with the field goal or whatever.
I think
and then he nailed it.
That it's funny because people are giving him a hard time, and when we end up in these situations where we have to kick field goals, everyone on Twitter is super wary, and I'm like, you don't really have a reason to be. To Rhett Allman's credit, he has been pretty reliable this season. I mean, he's had a couple bad misses, but
yeah, he's gotten better. So
46 yards is a range that I'm very comfortable with.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That was awesome. For me, it was third down conversions. So I actually went to look up this stat because during the Fresno game, it felt like we were doing better on third down conversions, which has been something that we have been awful at this season. We just have not been able to spin 3 and out every time. But we are 36 on the year. That's our percentage. We are 40% over the last 3 games, but in the last game against Fresno, we were 50%.
Oh, that's steady improvement.
Yeah, we were 7 for 14, which is not perfect by any means, but I mean, 50%, I feel okay about that. Now we are going to finally have another Along the Trail to Fame and Glory segment with someone who is very familiar to Jess and a Vegas native for more than 20 years. So listen to her advice and take it very carefully.
Okay, we have another Along the Trail to Fame and Glory this week since the football team is heading down south to Las Vegas. They play UNLV this Saturday at 7:30 Vegas time, 8:30 Mountain time at Sam Boyd Stadium. And so to bring you along the Trail to Fame and Glory, we have my aunt on, one of my favorite people in the world. This is Lavinia. Aunt Lavinia to me. Her Twitter handle is @LaviniaMom, so give her a follow.
Yes.
And Lavinia is going to tell us a few things to do and some places to eat if you are going to be in Las Vegas for the game this weekend.
Yeah, I've heard of a lot of fans that are going down, so I think this is going to be really good use to a lot of Cougar fans. So let's, as always, start with things to do. Lavinia, what are 3 or 4 of your favorite things to do in Vegas?
Well, we really like the free things.
Amen.
So, a lot of the stuff I have is free. So the first one is just downtown at the Arts District. You can get metered parking usually. Everything nowadays you have to pay for parking downtown, and it's a real pain. So just be prepared if you're going anywhere on the Strip. Most of the casinos, hotels are charging. Usually the first hour is free, but if you're planning on staying for a while, just be prepared to pay for that. But downtown, you can usually get a meter. It's not too bad. And if you start out on Ogden or Stewart Street and walk around 6th or 7th Avenue, you can see just the beautiful, they call it street art, but graffiti that they have on the walls. And it's amazing. It's very beautiful. Usually events like Life is Beautiful, they have artists from all over. They come and do some of the buildings, and they do First Friday. They have artists that come, and then there's just local people that do it, and it's constantly changing, and it's really beautiful. It's something that, especially this time of year when the weather isn't too hot, it's just really nice to walk around. And in that same area is where they've they completed the Healing Garden, which is a memorial for the Route 91 shooting victims. And that's also in that same area on Charleston and Casino Boulevard. So
that was quick then.
It was I'm so proud of my community. In 4 days, volunteers from all over the city, UNLV students, everybody, they just came together, and the city donated some land, and Siegfried and Roy donated some trees, and there's 58 trees, and it's just a beautiful remembrance wall and a rock garden, and you can just walk around. It's really a beautiful place where just the community could come together and be together and share stories.
That seems like a really important thing to do. What else?
The Bellagio, I know a lot of people love the fountains at the Bellagio, but you should also go inside, because inside is the botanical gardens.
One of my favorite things.
Yes, every season.
Every season
they redo it. So, I mean, Christmas and Chinese New Year and spring and fall. And right now they have the fall flowers out, and I think there's like 40,000 flowers.
Whoa.
And this year for Thanksgiving season, they've got 2 giant peacocks and a huge tree. The tree is like 18 feet tall, and they've got 2 peacocks down there, just all made of flowers, and it's kind of like the Rose Parade, only inside. And
what else?
Well, on Veterans Day on the 11th and the 12th, all national parks are free. So they waive the entrance fee for Zion's and for Lake Mead, Death Valley. These places you usually have to pay to get into. they happen to be free that weekend. So I figured coming down Friday for the game, on Saturday, hit Zion's or hit Lake Mead or, and the weather's perfect for this kind of,
Totally.
Yeah.
Anything else before we move on to food?
The last thing is the glittering lights. So it's the fun thing to do in Vegas for Christmas, and it just opens this weekend or next weekend. But at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, they have 3 million lights, and you just drive through the speedway. You can go under the stadium and just around the track and just look at all the lights. We like to stick our heads out the windows. People are, through their moonroofs and their sunroofs, and it's just kind of a fun family thing to do. It does cost, it's $20 a car on days, and it's $30 on weekends. But if you want to kick off your Christmas with something a little different, you can head over to the Speedway.
Okay, my favorite. Let's go to places to eat.
Well, I know Vegas, the first thing people think of is buffets. Our favorite buffets are at the station casinos, which are kind of a local, they're kind of off the strip. There's Red Rock and Aliante and Green Valley. There's probably 8 or 9 different station casinos, but our favorite is Red Rock Casino, and they have a buffet there called the Feast Buffet, and it's one of the cheaper ones and the better ones. So you get a good price and good food, but to get the best price, the secret is you sign up for a boarding pass, which is totally free, and you can do it online or at the casino, but it will get you, I think the regular price for lunch is like $10.99, but I think if you get the boarding pass, it's a couple dollars less. It's $8.99 for breakfast, and it's $10.99 for lunch.
Wow.
But if you show up around 10:45, you pay the breakfast price, and then you can be there at 11 when they bring out the lunch food.
This is why we have these segments, to learn all of these tricks that we never would have thought of.
Oh, that's so great. What else besides buffets?
Well, dessert. So I have 2 of our favorite dessert places are Creme is an ice cream shop, and they're best known for their tacos. So they take like a waffle cone. You can choose like a red velvet waffle cone, and they make it in the shape of a taco. And then they'll put 3 scoops of ice cream and then toppings on top of it.
Oh my gosh.
This sounds amazing.
It's pretty amazing. And it's big enough everything at Creme is big enough you can share. I don't know if I could down all of that myself, but we go for the ice cream sandwiches. That's my favorite thing at Creme. And you can get, 2 different kinds of cookies, and gosh, they have I think they have 16 different flavors of cookies and 30 different flavors of ice cream and, 20 different toppings, and they'll put chocolate chip with, mint chocolate chip ice cream and a red velvet or a snickerdoodle cookie, and you can just play around with it. And if you want to share, you pick one cookie and, your partner picks another cookie and you split the ice cream, but it's definitely worth it.
Okay, what's the other dessert place that you like?
Pink Box Donuts. I love Pink Box Donuts. They are open 24 hours a day.
Oh, great.
Because of that, they're constantly making donuts, so they're always fresh. They're always just made. And they have a donut there called the Fat Elvis, which I just love, and it's made with chocolate ganache and banana peanut butter filling.
Oh my gosh.
Elvis is known for his favorite dessert was peanut butter banana sandwiches, and so they made a donut in his honor, and it's fabulous.
That's amazing. Fat Elvis donut, you said?
Yes.
Okay, someone try several of those in our honor.
And bring us back some.
Yeah, seriously.
Okay, the last one I know is one we've been to together.
My honorary shout out is Babystacks, which has the best pancakes in the world. Jess,
guys, it's so good.
Okay, you've been there.
Oh yeah, I went with Lavinia last time we were there for the Mountain West Conference tournament.
Babystacks. I've never even heard of it.
We talk about it all the time. Seriously, all the time. We're like, let's just go to Vegas and go to Babystacks.
Is it just like normal pancakes? Obviously they aren't normal.
It's not.
any kind of flavor you want. They've got red velvet, carrot cake, cinnamon,
Yum.
just all different kinds. But they also have some really good Hawaiian food. They have a moco loco that's really good. Their omelets and crepes are really good. But, I mean, their pancakes are what most people go for. And they've got
Melts in your mouth.
3 locations, and they're always packed. They're just really delicious.
Lavinia, that's how you know that you've done a successful along the trail segment, is when you have our mouths watering by the end. So you definitely have. And all those activities sounded great too.
Sound really good. I can't wait for the next time I go to Vegas. 'Cause I'm going to try those, even if it's not for a game.
All right, so thank you so much for coming on. And Cougar fans, remember, tweet us your pictures if you do any of this stuff. Thank you to Lavinia for joining us. I really am wishing that I was going down to Vegas.
I know. Thanks, Lavinia.
Talk of the town? Oh, before we get into Talk of the Town, there's something else happening in Vegas that we need to mention.
This is important. So if you're going down to Vegas, or if you live in the Vegas area, Pat Hammond put together the BYU Alumni Cougar Tailgate. So this is going to be from 5 to 7 p.m. Pacific time at Old Silver Bowl Park, just close to Sam Boyd Stadium. Yeah. And Pat's put a lot of work into this. So definitely make it if you can. They'll have food trucks, face painting, balloon arts. You'll have all the, BYU cheer squad.
Cosmo, the real star of the season, is going to be there.
Oh, that's sad.
I know. And entry is free, so definitely go and show up. And when we tweeted this from our account, a lot of cool people are going to be there. Yeah. Mostly Jamal Williams' mom and Jake Welch and Pat, which are like 3 of my favorite people in the world. Agreed. So definitely go.
For sure.
All right, let's get into Talk of the Town. Oh my goodness, we are going to start with some bad news, which you already know, but we had to say it. Tanner Mangum is done for the season with an Achilles injury. It's so crazy because right when he went down, a lot of people on Twitter said, that's exactly what it looks like. It looks like his Achilles just gave out on him, and it did. And I don't know if it's because his left leg was the leg that he injured his ankle on, and then the right leg was when the Achilles went out. So I don't know if he injured that because he was overcompensating, or if it's just because the football gods hate us. Hard to say.
Probably both.
But I'm hoping we'll get our doctor friend Ben Buchanan on to do a Doctor Is In segment so we can talk about the recovery for that, how that happens. But we're definitely crossing our fingers for Tanner.
He did have surgery yesterday, so he's on top of that at least.
Moving on from some bad news to some fun news.
Jack DeMooney tweeted out, "Look who stopped by to check out his boys, the ball hawk himself, one of BYU's best DBs of all time. It's Kai Nakua with some different hair." And a beard. So if you didn't recognize him, that is Kai Nakua.
In his Browns gear.
So, yeah, he looks great. So it was cool to see him back visiting. Jamal was there a couple weeks ago. Now it's Kai. So it's good that they get back and come see their old team.
Love that. We promised you a Halloween portion of Talk of the Town, and here it is. And we are starting with one of my absolute favorite costumes of the night. Haley Pitzenberger, Haley McCombs, now congratulations, by the way, tweeted out, because it should be on Twitter more, Mo Longi was Biggie yesterday, and it was perfect. And it was perfect.
Pretty good.
I went to the trunk or treat, and I saw the crown, and because you can see the crown just sticking out over on top of everyone, it was amazing.
Good work, Mo. Johnny Linehan dressed up as a Pac-12 ref. If you can't tell, he's blind.
It's hilarious.
We always make this joke. It was pretty good. Good work, Johnny.
I thought he did good. We loved this tweet from @Kelly_BYU fan. She tweeted a picture of her daughter Bailey dressed as Blue from Blue's Clues. And every year on Halloween, I've seen this picture every year for the past couple of years. Matt Foley also dressed as Blue for Halloween one year. And so they did a Who Wore It Best. I think we're going to have no comment on this since we love both of them.
Other than they're both adorable.
Yeah, they're both. Yeah, let's go with that.
So cute.
Oh my
this
goodness.
one still maybe scares me a little bit. It's Tom Holmoe as the Mad Hatter. So he always dresses up every year, and it's always fun to see what he does. He goes all out, and it's intense. And his Mad Hatter costume, his eyes and his makeup and the whole thing.
It's so impressive. We got a couple more, and these were from BYU Cougars Instagram story. This is Corbin, who dressed as the Master Chief from Halo.
We did not have to look that up at all.
Yeah, Halo experts, us, definitely.
And then Bradenell Thackeray was Bane from the Batman movies.
Talk about a scary costume.
Yeah, and he, like, has the build for it, and he even had, like, a little thing over his hair, so he looked bald.
Yeah, he looks... I walked past him when he was on set, and I was a little scared.
I know, I like it, but I don't like it.
Oh, and we've got a bonus one, former player. This is from Ben Criddle, who tweeted out a lot of their Halloween costumes. He said, Cody Hoffman, one of the greatest BYU wide receivers in history, is a hot dog. Looks like Cody Hoffman is selling cars now, as you can tell from his Instagram post. And he said, who doesn't want to buy a car from a guy in a hot dog costume? All right, we got one thing from basketball. So we start with bad news and end with great news.
Yes. So, by the way, BYU basketball did win their exhibition game last week. So, good job.
Yeah.
This is from Jeff Grammer. He says the BYU UNM exhibition hoops game last week will result in UNM writing a check for $21,147.60 to the Hurricane Harvey Relief Fund. So that's pretty good for
more
that
than
kind of last minute game. Yeah, that was awesome, and we won that game, so even better.
Yeah, for us,
Good
it was
cause
definitely
and
a win-win situation. And even if we would have lost, it would have been a win situation to get to help and contribute to that sort of fun. For more on that New Mexico game, go back and look at Elijah's vlog. He's doing a really nice job. So him and his wife have started switching out a little bit more, and so it'll just be kind of like his thing, and he takes the GoPro or whatever to practice. He took it on the New Mexico trip and gave a really good look at, kind of how travel is for them, and he did a little bit of the flight there and showed his room and how he was rooming with Jashir, talked about the post-game process, some of the stuff he was eating. It was a really cool insight. This is exactly what we hoped he would do when he started doing his vlog.
What's next is we have BYU basketball has their last exhibition game this Wednesday at 7 o'clock at the Marriott Center. It will be on BYU TV, and they're playing Colorado College.
Yeah, go check it out.
So look for that.
Yes, and then, of course, the football game in Vegas, like we talked about, that will be on Friday at 8:30 p.m. That's Mountain Standard Time. It will be on ESPN2 for those who are not making the trip. And if you are going, wear royal. This is not a typical wear white game. It looks like we'll be wearing some alternate, so wear royal to the game if you're going.
And then the thing I'm most looking forward to this week, BYU basketball season opener this Saturday against Mississippi Valley State, 7 p.m. Wear white to that one, of course.
Yes.
And it'll be on BYU TV if you can't be there.
But try and be there if you can. We all need that right now. And
we need fun and excitement.
Totally. Okay, as for our sponsors this week, we have sponsor number 1, which is the Stranger Things teaser poster, which isn't Stranger Things, it's BYU, made by Daniel Fuja, and it's just got some of the taboo things that have been going on for us this year with Francis and Tanner even, and
it's got
Mr. Kyle Whittingham,
the bad guy.
And I like that the boys are coaches up there on the bikes, the protagonists.
I thought it was funny. Cosmo's the scarecrow, and you have Fat Cats in the background, and it's
really good work. And he said it was a quick job too, so props.
I know, super impressed. My favorite is Tanner with the hair in the middle. Also want to give a shout out to Coach Blanchard as our second sponsor, and all the other teachers repping the Y for College Application Week.
Yes, all these BYU doors that we're seeing, we love it.
That's awesome.
Go to BYU. And especially if you're a really good athlete, go to
especially
BYU.
A football athlete.
May you always stay loyal to the white and blue. For Jess, I'm Mary. We'll see you next week.